we need to master this. I guess goes into your question about money. The way I look at the spiritual path, being in the world, let's say fourth way person, and all the masters and teachers that I have studied with, they were in the world. So, and so it is, we are under, there's this influence that is all the time in our face. And so part of the work is to master this influence, to master this money, food, and sex. Money, food, and sex and relationships. And what I mean by master is there's a lot of unconsciousness and a lot of sense of separation, a lot of pain body related to money, food, and sex and relationships. So it's a lot of areas where we fall asleep there, and we are tormented, and we are caught in the ego torture and sense of separation. So mastering these departments would be to, first of all, to learn to navigate them skillfully, without falling asleep, without getting identified with them. Mastering this department of influence would be to also know that A influence is not going to bring us happiness, true fulfillment, true peace. Doesn't come from money, food, and sex, and relationships, and fame, and all of that. At the same time, to not reject them. I mean, I need to pay rent for this house, and it is this computer that costed money, and there is electricity, and there are bills. And some of you have a family, so you need to take care of your kids, to provide food, shelter, all of these experiences, education. So those are necessary and important. So a way to master influence is to somehow find a way to, while being deeply involved in spiritual work, to find a way to make it work, to find a way to have enough money for your needs, and for maybe traveling, for experiences, and to master this area of relationships and romantic and dating and husband and wife. And this is a rich area of inner work. So to use this for the work, and also in the fourth way, in Gurdjieff was like very much, and Jesus was saying, how would Jesus say that? To master the world, like be in the world, but not of this world. So somehow to be deeply involved with it, but not be lost in it, identify with it, and have this idea that we are a traveler in this world.
Yes, thank you. Yes, about the question that you say, the money, what is the role of the money? Yes, how it works in our everyday, how do you, if you are, like someone in the poor way, I mean, money is important, yes? I mean, we don't separate from the economics that we have now, yes? I mean, it's like far away is, if we have the economic of not having money, well, we will live with not having money, yes? But like right now, we live in a society of money, is the way that we follow, is maybe what I understand in your explanation. A little bit, yes? Without identification, yes? Just like using the money, not the money using us, yes?
Yeah. Well, about money is also, my experience of working with people as a somatic psychotherapist. I see that people have this limiting negative beliefs around money, and that we have inherited from our culture, or we have inherited from our parents, or developed as a result to being raised in a certain family. So, and for instance, like that money is bad, that money is bad, that money is evil, that people that have lots of money are assholes, are evil. Money, you have to compromise yourself, or you need to sell your soul to make money. It's not spiritual to make money. Money and spirituality doesn't go together. Money is hard to get. All of this, I mean, these are actual things that I've noticed people have that. And so these are embedded in the subconscious. So if one has this kind of, one will actually subconsciously, consciousness create and the mind creates. So what we hold in mind, what we believe deeply, tends to manifest, to confirm itself, because this is a conscious universe that responds a lot to our, what we put out there, yeah? So if one has such beliefs, then one will subconsciously sabotage oneself and be struggling and be in deep poverty or suffering. So when I work with people, I help them realize, there's what is the money file? What is the money file? What are your beliefs and your imprints that you receive from your family or origin? What are your imprints and messages? Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. And it's a good practice to kind of close your eyes at some point and go within, and even you can take some money, like banknotes, and hold the money in your hand. And even holding the money in the hand and just being very present, very aware, and notice whatever arises in you, like as an energy or as a feeling or as a thought or memory, yeah, that is stirred around money. Then you can go into your childhood and kind of remember mommy and daddy and grandpa and all of that. And what were they talking about money? What was the idea? Because we are programmed with those things. As well as though it's useful to have an inventory of our messages and beliefs around money. My approach and understanding is that money is like an element. Money is actually energy. Money is not evil. Money is not the source of all suffering. Yet money is not going to bring happiness. So money depends. I know that there are very many wealthy people, and especially the wealthiest people. Of course, there are exceptions, but they are deeply selfish and deeply caught in the programs of greed and power and all of that. But I also know that there are very wealthy people that are deeply aligned with spiritual work and compassion and helping others. So this black and white generalization around money are dangerous and false. It is also one of my teachers, Lester Levinson, who was a teacher of Laura Lucille. So Laura was telling me that when she was studying with him, he wanted to teach them about actually this discovering the presence of God within, and awakening and deep spiritual path. But the students that they were coming to him, they were a little bit, let's say, immature, in a way that they still had a strong desires about the world, yeah, worldly desires. They wanted, oh, I want to be a famous actor. I want to have like $5 million. I want to have this mansion. I want to have this and that. So then he was like, okay, I got it where you guys are at. So actually he will help them. He will help them using certain psychological, emotional, visualization, consciousness processes, as well as subconscious deprogramming, what I was talking before, deprogramming the limiting beliefs about money, so that to help these young, immature students reach their goals. And he was very good at that. And he will help them, and he was doing this twofold. He will help them realize, okay, getting this Rolls Royce and getting this, being a famous actor, and writing the book and being famous and getting this money and this relationship with this wonderful person. And he will help them by, doing all kind of awareness processing to let go of the imagined limitation in the way of what we want. A little bit like this kind of thing with The Secret, but the Secret, as I mentioned before, I think it's a serious B influence. There is some deep truth there, which is appropriated by the ego. And the ego, who is actually the source of all suffering, is trying to manifest things to be happy. And then is going to find that it doesn't work. So, however, some of the principles there are somehow useful. So coming back to this Lester, he was helping them to achieve their worldly goals twofold. Why? Because of two reasons. One, because he wanted them to see that it works, that actually this is like a magical universe here, man. It's all arising out of nothing. It's like magic. It's a consciousness is the creator of all things. Yeah. So he wanted them to see, to change their idea of the universe as like a solid thing that is unchanging. He wanted them to see that as a show that is affected by the mind and consciousness, which is an important part of the spiritual path, to have the world less physical, to see that actually everything and the relationships in my life and the job and the people and my bank account is a manifestation of a lot of subconscious things I hold in mind, and it's a condensation of the one reality. Anyway, the second objective for him helping them achieve their worldly goals was for them to realize that they are still not happy now. You see, now you wanted this, you have it now. You are still discontent. You are still feeling there's something wrong. There's still something missing. So then, with the people who stayed, now he went towards helping them, guide them towards the source of peace and happiness and stability, and which is this inner work. Yeah. I see money as energy. That's the way to go. Money is energy. Money is not bad. Money is not good. And money is necessary in this world, especially in our world, and in people that come to my groups. And when I go to all kind of groups. I go to see some of my teachers. I need to pay a bunch of money to attend those retreats, because those people have bills to pay and all that. And I do retreats and I do something and I ask some money, in order to have money for life. I'm not a monk from subsisting from donations, from alms and all of that. There's another thing with the money, is that it's important, the fourth way, the payment principle. Some people say, well, why do you charge money for the truth, and you shouldn't charge money? I have experienced this many times. And even in the pandemic, I was offering a whole group for many months for free, because I thought lucky that I still have a job and as a psychotherapist online, and people are struggling. So I wanted to do offer support and group online for free. And maybe 2 people came, and then nobody came. And then after some time, I did the same thing, charging $30 or $25, and there were like 10, 11 people coming. They were coming regularly. So that was interesting lesson. First of all, one needs to pay. You can't get something for nothing. There needs to be a certain kind of exchange of energy, a certain payment to make effort. You know, that's really important. This payment can take different forms, doesn't have to be all about money, but sometimes it comes down to that, because it helps people realize, hey man, how much do I really want this? Do I want this more than the burger, the next thing, or the next bag I want to buy, or whatever? You know, it helps them focus. And also I'm aware, you know, like in Mexico there, like $30 is a lot of money. And I come from a former communist country, and I benefit. For many years I was really struggling with money and not very wealthy now at all. But I went to many retreats, and I went to many spiritual things, getting like a sliding scale or getting a scholarship or getting something. And I understand, and I take this into account, and I make you know, discounts and stuff like that for people from Egypt or from Mexico or from all of this. But even with those, it's still important to pay something, you know? It's for them. They need to do it for them.
Yeah, not all people in Mexico, let me be clear.
Yeah, I know. There's
Yeah, it's a bunch of people that can pay. Yeah, so
yes.
okay. Thank you, Mihai. That was very nice. And yeah.